Hello my loves and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a new pick a card reading, but before we hop into it, I wanted to thank Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. If you have not heard of Skillshare before, they are essentially a huge online platform full of classes upon almost any subject that you can think about, whether that be art, fashion design, business, web development, productivity, lifestyle, and I recently took a class that I really love and I'm so excited to share it with you. This class is all about how to design your life and it goes through 4 different steps to gain motivation and clarity. This class is by Michelle B, and she goes over something that I found really interesting. She talks about creating an anti-vision. This is basically a vision that's the opposite of what you're actually wanting to create in your life. And she mentions the reason why you want to do this because you can begin to see the certain habits or the certain things that you're currently doing in your life that are working against you. And then you actually get to see your life possibly a year from now or 5 years from now or 10 years from now if you don't change certain habits, which again might sound a little bit backwards. It might sound something that's the opposite of what you want to focus on, but it can actually really help you kind of create that motivation that you really need to create major change in your life. And Skillshare also has one of their best offers right now. So if you are wanting to step more into your creativity and learn something new, the first 500 people to click the link down below in the description box get 30 days for free, as well as 40% off of an entire year's membership. Again, all that information will be linked down below, and the first 500 people to click that link will get 30 days for free and also 40% off of a year's membership with Skillshare. And thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. And without further ado, let's go ahead and hop right back into today's pick a card reading. Hello my loves and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a new pick a card reading all about the next chapter of your love life. So if you are curious what's about to happen in your love life, what is the next chapter that you are opening up and stepping into, then you came to the right place. We're going to try to get as much detail as possible. We're going to ask your spirit guides to come through to help us give information for your highest good at this time, all the things that you want to know about, need to know about, all that kind of stuff. If you are new to these videos, I'm going to also give you a quick little explanation about how it works. So I have 4 different groups in front of me. We have group number 1. This is associated with some Mukayet jasper on top. So if you're drawn to this pile, there's going to be a timestamp link down below so you can skip right ahead to your prediction. Group number 2, we have some lapis lazuli. If you are drawn to this one, this is going to be your group. Group number 3 has some amethyst. So that'll be your pile. Again, timestamps are linked down below. Group number 4, we have some Lemurian quartz on top. So if you're drawn to that one, that is going to be your group. If you are ever struggling with choosing a pile, I highly recommend closing your eyes and either waiting for a number or color to pop into your head. So whatever the first number is that pops into your head between 1 and 4, that's your intuition speaking to you, and then you could skip ahead to that particular group, or you could wait for a color to come into your head, either yellow or blue, purple, or pink over here. So again, that's another way of tapping into your intuition and letting your intuition speak to you if you're having a hard time finding the pile that you're the most drawn to. So those are some little tips, and I will see you in your reading. Again, you can pause the video to take more time if you need, and I'll see you there. And let's go ahead and hop right into today's video. All right, so my group 1s, if you were drawn to this pile, this is going to be your reading, so let's go ahead and hop right into it. Group number 1, I am super excited to get into this. So we have 2 queens to start us off. We have the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Swords, the Knight of Wands, the 6 of Pentacles, and then the Shadow Work card. The fact that we even have the Shadow Work card coming up for you really gets me in this feeling as if you've really been working on yourself. You've been working through different fears, different blocks. You've really been up-leveling yourself over the past year or maybe even more. I'm really seeing that this next chapter of your love life is actually going to be very different from anything that you've experienced in your past. And I'm really seeing it's because you're embracing your own individuality, more of your freedom, and you feel more like tapped into your passion. You feel more tapped into your sensuality in this next chapter. And I really think that you're on this path of discovering what it is that you really like, what it is that you really want. I feel like you're kind of really almost reinventing yourself, or maybe even just up-leveling yourself, discovering more about who you are and what you desire. And I'm also seeing that because of this, your love life, you're going to be so much more clear about what it is that you want, and you're going to be so much more clear about how you want to communicate and how you want to approach the dynamic of your love life in a much healthier, much better way. I'm also seeing that you desire more freedom. You're wanting more freedom. So maybe in the past you've experienced certain things where you put off your wants, needs, and desires for another person, or maybe you felt like other people would take away your freedom or sort of stand in the way of you doing what you wanted. However, this next chapter, I'm seeing like you're stepping into your power. This Queen of Wands here, you're deeply stepping into your power in your love life, where you're no longer going to lose your individuality or diminish your desires for anyone else. And I see that it's going to be bringing more freedom into your love life and more passion, more sensuality, because you're not needing to shut that part of yourself down, you know? Like, it's going to enable you to make the most of your life and make the most of your partnership as well. So if you're already in a relationship, I'm seeing you just stepping into your power, stepping into your passion, stepping into your sensuality, which I also think that if you have a partner, it's going to make them really like attracted to you. It's gonna pull them more towards you and make you even more magnetizing. Like, you're stepping into a stage of your life, group number one, where you are going to be so much more magnetizing to your partner or to potential suitors if you're single. So I'm just saying, be on the lookout, because you're definitely going to have a lot of people that are drawn to you, because they're going to be drawn to that freedom type of energy where you're tapped more into your passions, more tapped into your sensuality. I wouldn't be surprised if some of you are on this path where you're really starting to root yourself deeper into your purpose. And I know this kind of sounds like outside of the realm of, you know, focusing on your love life and all of that, but sometimes there's messages that come through that might not be specifically about the topic, but they sort of tie in their own way. And what I see for you is that it seems like you are also entering this chapter within your career or within your divine purpose in some way, where you are diving more into that. You're diving deeper into your divine purpose, which again is going to make you more magnetizing, because it's really like you're stepping into your power by stepping further into your purpose and putting yourself first. And it's going to magnetize, you know, your partner to you or potential suitors. And this Queen of Swords here is also giving me this energy that you no longer want to filter yourself, especially in your love life, because you know, when we filter ourselves, when we feel like we have to filter ourselves around our partner, we never feel fully seen or understood. We never feel fully ourselves. And I just see you wanting to find someone who loves you for you. Or again, if you're already in a partnership, you're wanting to just open up and be authentic, be truly seen, to be vulnerable, but to also be strong. You know, vulnerability doesn't necessarily mean that all of a sudden you're weak and you're vulnerable. Being vulnerable can also make us so powerful and so strong. And I'm seeing you stepping into that strength and being able to fully communicate, and also to make certain decisions that maybe you've been contemplating for a while. So if you've been putting off your dreams and desires for your love life previously in the past, I see you putting your foot down and stopping old patterns that have been holding you back. And I also see you stopping old patterns that have been sort of difficult in your love life or causing chaos in your love life. I'm seeing you gaining so much more clarity on the dynamic that you want to create. I'm seeing you being able to fully communicate your boundaries, your wants, your needs, your expectations, and all of that. And I really think it's going to help clear and balance your love life. This Knight of Wands showing up can be indicating your partner or your potential future partner. So if some of you, I feel like some of you in previous relationships, it wasn't quite the dynamic that you wanted. However, moving forward, you are so focused on creating freedom, passion, communication, and making sure that somebody's on the same page as you, that they're going towards the same goal, and you're so ready to cut off anyone who is not on your same page. And I think you're much more ready to like cut to the chase, not play around, and to focus on, okay, I'm gonna just make it clear about what I want, and if somebody's not there, then I'm ready to like leap forward to something else. I'm ready to create more balance. And some of you, you might be in a relationship now where you're creating a very solid dynamic with this person. You're creating something that, you know, it's very open, trusting, communicative, passionate. Like, I'm just seeing so much passion right here. And if you are single, I see you manifesting a lot of passion moving forward in your relationships, but very clear relationships where you're wanting somebody who's on the same page. And the Six of Pentacles is this really nice balance. I think that you're also in this phase where you no longer want to just give to somebody who isn't there. You know, Six of Pentacles is about balance. It's about the give and take, knowing how to give and knowing how to receive. So if there was any imbalances previously in your love life when it came to giving and receiving, sharing tasks, sharing responsibilities, you know, kind of having a dynamic that's balanced, if you've ever struggled with that in the past, I'm seeing that this next chapter, your clear communication and your strength, your confidence, is going to really help you create a balanced dynamic and to make sure that things are flowing well and that both people are very clear and understand what is expected, what is required to make the relationship that you are wanting. And again, you're just ready to find somebody who's already automatically on that same page and, you know, balance out those dynamics. This shadow work card is so powerful. And, you know, I feel like you've been digging really deep into yourself to kind of see where old patterns were stemming from, where they were coming from. I feel like you've learned so much from your past and so much through your own internal observations and through your own growth that your love life in this next chapter, I'm just seeing again, passion, balance, open communication. All of these cards are upright. You know, we have balance, we have tons of passion, and like sexual chemistry. I'm just going to say that. Like Queen of Wands, Knight of Wands, they're like, this is like sexual chemistry. This is feeling very passionate, tons of attraction between you and a partner. Clear communication where it feels like you can talk, things are open, you feel understood, you feel heard, and you're also ready to listen and understand someone else too. It's like you're ready to kind of create this nice dynamic together. So that's what I'm seeing here. Again, if you're single, I see someone coming into your life, and I also see it being fun, being spontaneous. And if you are in a relationship, I'm still seeing fun, spontaneity. I'm seeing someone who, you know, really wants to create an exciting but balanced relationship with you. Also, this just came out. We have theater, so participate, challenge, co-create, and contend. You're writing like a new story, let's say, in your love life. The co-create card really makes me feel like you don't want to just be the leader of your love life. And maybe you've also had that in the past where you felt like you were leading your love life and you felt like you wanted somebody who was willing to step up to that plate with you, willing to meet you there and also co-create with you, rather than feeling like you need to kind of like push somebody or wait for somebody, you know, to kind of catch up. I'm just seeing this next chapter of your love life being something that's it's co-creating. It's where you actually feel like both of you are participating in the same story. You're both there to create a story together. Theater also makes me feel like there might be something in your life where something might be in the spotlight. So this could be like posting on social media together, or maybe doing something where something's in the spotlight. For some reason, that's really standing out to me. And also, oh, you know what? I just got the epiphany of what this is about. So theater, this person's holding a mask and they're specifically taking off the mask. If you've ever felt like in your love life before that you've had to hide yourself and wear a mask in order to get somebody to like you, or if you've ever felt like you've needed to hide certain aspects of yourself, moving forward, this next chapter, you no longer want to put on an act in your love life. You're wanting somebody to, again, see you for who you are, to have that vulnerability, the power to be vulnerable, and to find somebody who's on that same page, who's willing to co-create with you and participate with you, and also to take off their mask as well. So that's another little aspect that's coming through there. Let's see what else we get for you. We also have Guardian. Ooh, in your love life, this next chapter, I feel like it's going to be very protective, like protective over each other, protective over your love, not wanting to let bad energy come in. It's like you're being a guardian and you're particularly like filtering out and putting a stop to old patterns. Like you're very conscious and aware of when certain patterns are coming in. You're very conscious and aware to other people's energies and seeing when somebody's on the same page versus when someone's not. Like you're here to kind of hold up boundaries that are going to keep you on the path that you actually want to be in. We also have shelter, protect, preserve, to preserve your love and to preserve your boundaries and making sure that those are staying in place. I also feel like you're going to be much better at navigating things. This whole card is just making me feel like you're gaining a higher perspective, and things that used to confuse you in your love life are no longer going to be confusing to you. It's really like you're up leveling, you're gaining a higher perspective on everything, and it's really helping you navigate your love life in order to get to some kind of goal here. There's some sort of goal that you're really wanting to achieve in your love life. Maybe you've also like guarded your feelings in the past out of a fear of getting hurt. Maybe you used to wear a mask as a way of protecting your feelings, your emotions, as a way of protecting yourself. I also see in this next chapter, you're so ready to be more vulnerable. You're so ready to be seen. Instead of getting lost in this maze of overprotection, of playing a different part that wasn't authentic to you, instead of going along with someone else's play. Some of you may have been following along in someone else's play before, like in your past. Like, yeah, maybe people used to expect things of you or vice versa, and it was almost like one person, either you or the other person, never felt like they could fully be themselves, you know? Maybe you've also seen people in certain ways before where you saw their potential, but you weren't really looking at who they were in the present moment. And maybe that created certain imbalances of, you know, expecting somebody to be a certain way, and then all of a sudden they let us down constantly because, again, we're looking at their potential, not at what they're actually being. And so that can sometimes cause chaos. So again, maybe that's caused you to be like really guarded before. Maybe that's caused you to be really cautious. But at this moment, I'm just seeing, again, freedom, power, authenticity, vulnerability in a really positive way that's creating balance. And it's helping you purge old patterns. It's helping you let go of old things that once held you back. So that's really positive. Let's dive into some more cards here. My group ones. Let's see what else we have for the next chapter of your love life. The next chapter of your love life. I'm seeing you being so much more powerful, We also have religious factors. Maybe some of you have also like been in relationships before where you two were not on the same page when it came to your belief systems or your values. And maybe that's also caused some tension before. I'm seeing in this next chapter of your love life, it's about connecting on similar values, getting on the same page when it comes to your values and your spiritual path. Like, if you're single right now, I'm almost seeing you making a declaration like that you only want to be with somebody who has your same values and belief systems, because you don't want to feel like mocked. You don't want to feel misjudged by somebody who is maybe polar opposite you in their belief systems. So yeah, I feel like that's also coming through. I'm also seeing you letting go of childhood patterns or childhood fears. Maybe some of you have grown up in a household where maybe your parents weren't together, or maybe there wasn't the best dynamic, like maybe there was a lot of conflict there, and maybe it's caused certain wounds, like childhood wounds, childhood trauma, I guess, that can like pop up as a pattern in your, in your love life as you get older. I think that you're going to go through more of a release. I also see you connecting in a way where you're now ready to be open about those things. You're now ready to be open in your love life about, what your belief systems are, what you've experienced, and the different maybe ways in which those experiences have formed you. But I see you overcoming that through just the awareness of it. Reconciliation, ooh. I'm seeing a deep togetherness. For some of you, reconciliation can occasionally indicate that somebody from your past is coming back into your life. However, that's not always the case of reconciliation, because I know some people probably listening to this are like, oh my God, no, I would never date anybody from my past. And if so, this is not necessarily saying that you're gonna get together with somebody from your past. Reconciliation can also indicate that there is just a forgiveness and a letting go of something from your past, being able to forgive it so that you're no longer bearing the emotional scars of it. Sometimes we like to hold on to our emotional scars because it makes our ego feel good to hold on to those emotional scars, because we're like, oh my God, I never want to forget. I can forgive, but I'll never forget. But that's not a true form of forgiveness, because if you don't let it go to the point where you actually really release that emotional scar, like the scar that it left you, until you release that, there's never a full healing. And something that I'm seeing for you in this next chapter is a type of healing where you're able to forgive things in your past, maybe even forgiving your parents, maybe even forgiving like lineages of different traumas or hurts, so that you're able to enter this new chapter as this more powerful version of you, this free version of you, because the Queen of Wands, she is free. The Knight of Wands, he is free. But we can only be free when we let go of those scars, those emotional wounds, those ties, and all of that. So I just see tons of healing, especially since we had the shadow work right next to that. I see you being able to release and let go so that you can step into your light fully. We also have passion. We were talking a lot about passion throughout this entire reading, especially because of the wand cards that we have here. This next chapter of your love life is going to be full of passion. And we're able to really open up fully passionately when we're able to hear or heal certain scars or emotional wounds. It really opens up the doors to our emotions and to our passion on a much deeper level. I'm just seeing this next chapter, absolutely. You are diving so much deeper into your passionate side. You're allowing yourself to enjoy pleasure. You're allowing somebody to, come through and love you through their love language. That's actually an odd thing that I'm seeing here is how everyone kind of has different love languages, or sometimes you might have the same love language as somebody. I'm seeing you opening up your sense of passion, where I feel like you're going to be open to the ways in which someone wants to express their love to you. So rather than needing to control the situation and say, no, you need to love me in this and this way. You know, it's good to communicate the ways in which you receive love the most. However, it's also a beautiful thing to be open to the way that somebody wants to love you, because when you get to like feel that, especially when you know you're really comfortable with that person and you really like that person, and there's an emotional connection there, it is so beautiful to like open up your heart in a way in which you can receive the way in which they want to express their love to you. Does that make sense? Like if their love language is like touch and quality time, and let's say your love language was like gifts or like some other thing, if you're able to open up to the ways in which they express their love, it's beautiful, because you get to see an aspect of them. And if you truly love them like unconditionally, it's just so beautiful to experience the ways in which they express their love, and to open yourself up to that, to start seeing and receiving love that way as well, and make that also one of your prominent things. Because the interesting thing about our love languages is we actually can grow and evolve to have all of the love languages be equally impactful, so that we can receive love in all of the different forms in which it can be shown and given. And when we open up to all of those, it opens up the ways in which you receive love. It's so beautiful. I cannot believe I've never made a video talking about it. I think it's so important. Maybe I'm gonna write that on the to-do list, like to make a video about how you can evolve your love languages to receive love in all ways, because I feel like it's so important, and I haven't really heard anybody talk about it yet. Maybe somebody has, but I just haven't heard it yet. But it's something that I've learned through my we have gifts. Like talking about love languages, and one of the love languages is gifts, and then we have the gifts card come up. Like maybe this is learning how to see love through the small little gifts that somebody gives you, or to see like even the unseen. Sometimes we do stuff for people without even telling them, and they might not even notice. That's the thing, they might not even notice. But when we can become a little bit more conscious about what somebody might be doing for us that we're not even seeing, like, or even just communicating it and being like, oh, like I noticed that you made the bed and that's really nice, or I noticed that you always take care of like taking out the trash, you know, whatever it is. There's small little ways in which we can give little gifts. And aside from that, something that I'm also seeing for you here is I'm seeing a gift coming through from your love life. I'm seeing that like in this next chapter, you are going to be given gifts, like somebody's showing their affection to you through gifts and through passion. Like maybe the person in your life or coming into your life, depending on if you're single or in a relationship, is gonna want to show you love through physical touch and gifts. So let's go ahead and see what else we get for you. We also have patience. Patience, not rushing things. I think another aspect of your love life moving forward is something where you're not wanting to rush it. You are not wanting, this quick-paced relationship, and maybe things have been very fast for you in the past. Maybe that didn't lead to the best places. Maybe moving forward, you're so okay with, taking time. You're so okay with being more present. I'm hearing that presence is too, presence in both the forms are coming to me. Spirit is like talking about presence as being present in the moment, but also a present as in a gift. Oh, you are going to receive more gifts in your love life by being more aware and present in the present moment. You are going to find gifts in your love life by being more patient and more present in the present moment. So that's also coming through. Let's see if I see anything else. Okay, wings are coming through. I feel like this is an aspect of saying that your love life is ascending. So it's taking on the next level. I'm seeing such healing to the point where you're able to open up so much more. There's a power coming through of, knowing what you want and need, being able to lay down those boundaries, create that balance that you need, taking off the mask in order to be vulnerable, in order to be fully seen, and creating proper boundaries, but not walls. It's like you're breaking down the walls, but maintaining boundaries, which is the healthiest way to do things. And then let's see if I see anything else here. I see like a spiritual relationship in your life. You may already have that, or it may be something that you're just attracting. Again, it's a general reading, so I'm pointing out both options. But I am seeing a very spiritual relationship here where you're both very much on the same page when it comes to your values, wants, and needs. I see this relationship going very deep together. I am seeing like a surprise in this relationship coming soon, which could indicate like, you know what? I really think that this relationship, if this sounds like a relationship that you're already in, I'm seeing a potential either proposal or some sort of next level, like your relationship is ascending to the next level. If you are single, I feel like as you attract this person and magnetize this person, I feel like this might be the one. So that is what I see here for you, my group number ones. Thank you so much for joining me here today, all about the next chapter of your love life. I am sending you all so much love, and until next time, bye. All right, so my group number twos, if you chose this pile, this is going to be your reading. So let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, so my group twos, we have the Eight of Swords being reversed, Hierophant being reversed, Six of Swords being reversed, then we have the Two of Swords upright, and then the Page of Pentacles upright. For your love life, the next chapter, the fact that we have the Eight of Swords being reversed is beautiful, because this also means that you are opening up in this next chapter and you're no longer wanting to feel restricted, you're no longer wanting to feel held back or speechless in a way, or feeling like you have to hold yourself, in a situation that you don't want to be in, or hold back your words or your thoughts. Like maybe you've been kind of stuck in a certain situation that hasn't quite been the best. And this is a time of like liberation. This is a time of calling back your freedom. Maybe you've even had certain fears that said like, oh, I can't be myself, or I can't fully open up, because there's maybe a fear there or a block there. Or maybe we've also felt like we've been in relationships before that have been very restrictive and very like overly protective, and it looks like you are ready for a release and you're ready to call your freedom back. And I also think that you are shifting what it is that you value, especially in relationships. The Hierophant being reversed indicates that maybe we are, reevaluating what we want in a relationship, and we're becoming a lot more clear about what it is that we want. This can also indicate, when we have Eight of Swords and Hierophant reversed, it can also indicate that we don't necessarily want like the super traditional way of being. Like maybe you're not wanting a super traditional type of relationship. Maybe you have different desires, and maybe you're feeling like you want to find yourself a little bit more. Maybe you feel like you want to explore and develop what it is that you desire in relationships. The Six of Swords being reversed is kind of when we are on a soul-searching journey, and maybe things in our past haven't necessarily been the absolute greatest, and we are trying to navigate, do we let this go and move forward, or do we go back to this? Like, what do we do? I feel like there's almost this decision that you've maybe been caught in when it comes to like wondering if a certain situation is going to change or if it's time to move on. That's honestly like Six of Swords being reversed. I really feel like in your head, you've been asking yourself, do I go back and possibly re-experience those same patterns? Or do I move on and never look back? Like, I feel like you're maybe caught in that idea. And the Two of Swords here also kind of says that. It says that our decision making has been difficult because maybe our mind is thinking one way and then our heart is thinking another way. So it's kind of like, okay, what do I decide? What's going to be the best thing for me? And something that I'm really seeing for you in this next chapter is focusing on what are your values? What is your worth? What do you truly want to experience, and where do you want to invest your time? Do you want to invest your time going back and forth in this old situation where it felt restrictive, it felt difficult, it felt like our values are not being upheld? Like maybe we were in a relationship where we had very different values. We had very different expectations, desires, and a very different path. Maybe we're with somebody who wants totally different things in their love life. And maybe that's causing a little bit of conflict. So Spirit's coming through here with the Page of Pentacles saying, if we can define what our values are and what we want to build upon, what do we truly want? That will help you in the decision of where to go in your life. And if we look at this imagery, like all over here in the past is all these kind of sword card energies. And then the values being overturned, but in the future, going the other way, moving forward, we have Page of Pentacles. It's planting a new seed. Planting a new seed. So what does that look like for you? I think that you're changing, and I think you've changed drastically from the person that you have been versus the person that you really want to step into and become. Like, I feel like you've been going through a massive transformation. And I feel like it's going to lead you towards different things in your love life. Page of Pentacles can also indicate that we're ready to kind of like start fresh. It is a fresh start. Pages are always like a fresh new beginning. And it looks like in this new chapter, the next chapter of your love life, you're wanting to plant a new seed, to have a new beginning, and to no longer spiral into like these old patterns that don't really bring us the fulfillment that we really want and deserve in our life. Let's see what else we get for you, my group twos. We have Awakener. So fortify, soar, emerge, and strengthen. This next chapter is about strengthening yourself, strengthening who you are, so calling your power back. And look at this. I believe this is Zeus right here with the lightning bolt, right? This is being so powerful and so direct about what you want. And the lightning bolt, if you think about the power of a lightning bolt, it knows it needs to like make a decision. And I almost feel like that you just need to like make your decision and to awaken, to emerge, to call back your power, your strength, to create the life that you really want. And to know that you have that inner strength to move past this, to make this decision, to go for what you deserve, what you want, to not stay stuck. Like the Awakener is when we wake up out of this slumber and we use our conscious mind to say like, what do I really want? And I'm gonna put my foot down about this. Like, yeah. Whew. Oh, that back card wants to come out. We have Dancer. Okay, so shift, dance, enrapture, and embody. Ooh, I love that. I love that coming up. So what is most fun for you? I feel like, honestly, this next chapter is about you having fun. In the sense of like exploring your individuality, exploring what is it that you really want to experience in your life. I honestly, for some reason, I keep hearing in my head that you really want to go on a trip, but maybe you felt restricted or held back before. I think this next chapter is about you embodying your power, your inner strength, no longer feeling held back by fears or being restricted or, feeling controlled by other people or by your environment or things like that. Like, this is time for you to shift, to dance, to enrapture, to embody who you are, to do your own dance, and to not be afraid to stand out, to not be afraid to be your authentic self and allow yourself to call back your freedom, your autonomy to create the life that you really want. I think this next chapter is about you embodying more fun. But I'm seeing this happening like on a level of you asking yourself, what do I find fun? What is fun for me? Rather than following what anybody else thinks is fun or what anybody else expects of you or, says you can or cannot do. What is fun for you? I feel like this is time to explore your phase of like coming out of your shell, coming out of the box that you've kind of felt like you've been in. This freedom of calling your power back, I feel like is going to shift your life so deeply, my group twos. So deeply. I feel like it's going to shift your path to really find who you are. I'm honestly getting a feeling from this group. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm getting a feeling that most of you who chose this group, there's almost this question of like, who am I? Who am I really? What is my purpose? What was I put here for? There's this essence of wanting to find more purpose, because I feel like there's this inner knowing within you that knows you're meant for a bigger purpose than maybe how you've been living your life. There's this feeling, this calling almost, that says like, hey, I want to jump into more. I want to find myself. And this next chapter of your life, I know we're talking about your love life here, but for some reason, Spirit wants to talk about your life. This is a time of finding yourself. And through finding yourself, I feel like you're going to see what it is that you really want in your love life. That's going to become more clear by finding who you really are. I feel like you have a bigger purpose, my love. And I feel like the only way to find that is through following that inner calling, that inner fire that's been calling you in a certain direction. It's been calling you to plant a new seed, to take action on it. Maybe that aspect of you has been calling you to travel somewhere, because for some reason that keeps popping in my head that maybe you've had this calling of wanting to travel. Maybe you've been having this calling that you want to explore more of your individuality and you don't want to just, sit down, be tied down and feel stuck. And I'm not saying that relationships tie you down and make you feel stuck. They don't do that, especially not if it's the right relationship. If it's the right relationship, you will feel expanded by it, right? But sometimes in order to find that right relationship, sometimes we need to explore ourselves and find ourselves first. Or sometimes, maybe we're in a relationship and maybe that relationship is really good, but at the same time, we have to stop restricting ourselves and give ourselves permission to still discover ourselves, to still find ourselves. But for a lot of you, I felt like maybe you've been in certain relationships that have been very controlling, and that's not like a healthy relationship. And I feel like you've had this calling to like expand yourself and to explore and just discover yourself. And that's just something I'm really seeing in this reading. So yeah, and then we also have the card of engagement. Oh, I am feeling like you're a very committed soul. Like you're very committed. But I'm also seeing you being very committed to yourself and to your purpose. I feel like you have a big decision to make. And I also feel like you are meant to get married. And I feel like you're going to, I feel like you're going to have a committed relationship. So even if marriage is not in the question, I'm seeing you having a very beautiful committed relationship. But I'm seeing that it comes through allowing yourself to be free, allowing yourself to explore yourself, to find yourself. Just because we're in a relationship doesn't mean that we need to all of a sudden shut ourselves off and lose our individuality, right? Ooh, next card. Let's dive in. Calling in your soulmate. I feel like you're going to find your soulmate immediately as you begin finding who you are. Because once you find who you are, it'll be very easy to recognize your soulmate because you already know who you are. Many people, when they get into relationships before they fully know who they are, they might think that they're with their soulmate, but it's really hard to see who your soulmate is before you find yourself. Once you find yourself and you've defined who you are and you really know who you are, and we're ever evolving beings. You're going to evolve always and all the time. Even once you know who you are, you're still going to evolve. But as you're more clear about who you are, finding your soulmate, you understand after that, like, who's your soulmate and who's not. And I just see this next chapter for you is about freedom. It's about fun. It's about finding, the person who is going to also want you to be free. They aren't going to control you, restrict you, or hold you back. Like, this new relationship that's going to be coming in for you is free and fun. Free and fun, committed, but in the healthiest, most fun way. It's very conscious, right? So instead of acting out of these unconscious habits and patterns and being in reaction mode, this is about being very conscious. It's very clear. It's very cognitive. And, it's when people are both very lucid with each other. You're having lucid conversations. It's, you're very much there. Does that make sense? Like, I feel like this next relationship for you is meant to be really balanced. But maybe in the past, we haven't had that. If you are in a relationship that's restrictive, I'm feeling like this is time to break out of the restriction. Like, I'm seeing this next chapter is about breaking out of restriction. This could even be a restriction that you've had on yourself. And maybe it's time to actually break out of that. And if you're single, I feel like as you find yourself, you are also going to find your actual soulmate, and they will be your person, and they'll be fully committed too. If you've also had relationships in the past where they haven't been very committed, I'm seeing you releasing that and setting the intention that you are, going for someone who's on the same page as you, who has the same values. You are calling that in. Like, look at engagement and soulmate. Like, you're calling that into your life. You are absolutely calling that into your life. You're getting out of whatever stuck pattern that you've been in. It's time to clear that, to clear whatever those things were that were keeping you stuck so that you can be free. You can find yourself, have fun, and call in your soulmate and have that beautiful, committed relationship where both of you are on the same page and you're still deeply allowing yourselves to be free. Let's see what else we have for you. Woo, a lot of cards just came out. We have the Hope card. We have the Guarded card. Oh my goodness. And then look at these other two. Oh my goodness. We have the Commitment card. We have engagement and commitment. Okay, you're definitely getting married. Some of you might think some of you might be in a scarcity mindset when it comes to your love life. Maybe because of the restriction or the, stuckness that you've had in your love life in the past. Maybe you fear that you're never going to find the right person. Maybe you fear that you're never going to get the commitment that you've been seeking. Maybe you're fearing that you're going to regret the decision that you make, so it's hard for you to kind of make the choice right now of what to do in your love life. Trust, I think, is going to be the most important thing. And Spirit wants you to know right now, you're going to get there. But the way in which you're going to get there is by being you, releasing your inhibitions, releasing yourself from these chains to speak about what it is that you really want, desire, and that you know that you deserve. Unlocking your heart is going to open up all of these doors for you. It's going to open up these doors. Putting yourself first and not compromising yourself for someone else who's not on your same page, right? Compromise is a healthy thing in a relationship, but not to the point where all of a sudden the compromise becomes uneven. If we're bending over backwards for someone who doesn't even remotely bend for us, that's not a healthy dynamic. But when we can have a dance with someone, dances are supposed to be equal, right? And there's different roles there that you're fulfilling in an equal way. So what I'm getting at with this is, if you can unblock yourself or allow yourself this freedom, free up your heart by maybe communicating, or whatever your situation is, being able to free yourself from that. To trust in the universe, to trust that your person is there. I'm seeing that there's like a commitment happening here. There's an engagement happening. You are calling in your soulmate by freeing yourself from however you've been holding yourself back. If you've been stuck on someone who's not giving you what you want or deserve, maybe this is about putting yourself first and not waiting around for something that's not moving forward. Maybe by doing that, we end up freeing ourselves and then calling in our soulmate, and then there we have it. So something, again, like I'm just really feeling group number 2s is that your love life is going to work out for you, but it comes through freeing yourself, allowing yourself to move forward and not stay stuck on the things that are not working. How can we move past that? How can we move forward? How can we overcome whatever those fears are? The fear of, am I going to regret this? The fear of, am I going to make the wrong choice? What has been holding you back, and how can we move forward and plant a new seed? Plant a new seed. How can we start moving forward? So that's like coming up a ton right here in your love life. This is about moving forward in this next chapter. What are ways in which you can move forward? Maybe it's about communicating to get clear. I know I might sound repetitive right now, but I'm just like sifting through all of the stuff that's like coming through from spirit right now. I'm like trying to sift it through and articulate it in a way that hopefully is making sense here. But yeah, this is again about freeing yourself. And through that freedom, you're no longer stuck, and therefore you can magnetize. Like this Page of Pentacles, she plants the seed and then it's growing, and she looks so much more abundant than these stuck cards that don't know how to make a decision and don't know how to move forward and stay stuck from fear. If you stay stuck from fear, you're guarded like this. We can't make a decision. We can't listen to our heart. Our heart isn't even free to be seen because it's so guarded. Being vulnerable, being open, being honest, living without that fear is going to help you move forward in your love life. And that's what this next chapter is about. Your next chapter is about that. And you're going to be calling in your person. So that is it. My group number 2s. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I am sending you all so much love. I hope this reading made sense and resonated in some way, shape, or form, or helped add clarity to your love life and to this next chapter and how it's going to be evolving and helping you reach that ultimate level of commitment and next level, like, love life opening up for you. So again, sending you so much love. Thank you so much for joining me here today, and I will see you next time. Bye. All right, so my group 3s, if you chose this pile, this is going to be your reading. So let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, so group 3, we have the Magician being reversed, Seeker of Swords upright, we have the Hierophant upright, 8 of Swords, 3 of Coins, and then the Hangman being reversed. So one of the first things that I'm hearing for you, group 3, is gaining clarity on your love life. This next chapter is about gaining the clarity that you need, especially if you felt unsure about certain things, or if you've felt like I don't know, if you felt like you've just needed to know more, maybe you've needed reassurance, maybe you've needed confirmation, or what's the word I'm looking for? Like validation. Maybe you've needed validation on certain things, or maybe you've been wanting to get like deeper in conversation in your love life, or gaining more, again, clarity and understanding about your love life. So this next chapter is about uncovering all of that so that you can get the answers that you need. And something that I'm hearing for you is that your love life is going to start really moving forward, especially if you felt stuck. So the Hangman coming up, the fact that it's reversed here indicates that things are going to start blossoming and moving forward in your love life through certain conversations that are going to be had. So the Seeker of Swords, this is like seeking understanding, or maybe seeking a conversation. And it's also one of the fastest moving cards in the tarot. And the Seeker of Swords is about getting to the point of something, and maybe even a fast moving conversation that really helps bring clarity in our love life very quickly. Maybe even someone's gonna say something that's like, oh, that's moving stuff forward, or oh, it's nice to finally know this, because it's going to give you more information on your love life. The Eight of Swords indicates this feeling of like stuck, or maybe even this feeling of limbo, or even feeling like we can't fully express ourselves or be ourselves, because maybe we're worried about like hurting the other person, or maybe we're worried about, you know, we don't want to sound like somebody who's just nagging all the time, or we don't want to sound, you know, rude or to hurt somebody else's feelings. So sometimes we end up shutting ourselves down and not fully opening up about certain stuff. Maybe we also feel like we don't want to open up a can of worms on touchy subjects. But this next chapter of your love life, I'm seeing that you're getting to the bottom of certain things. You're gaining more clarity and more understanding on your love life, especially in areas where maybe we were a little bit unsure, or maybe there was some questions that we had. The Hierophant is about understanding values, understanding where someone is at. This is also a card of commitment. So if some of you have had like, I don't know, confusion around where someone's head was at in terms of your future with them. So such as like, are we gonna be in a committed relationship? Are we in a committed relationship? Are we moving towards commitment? Are you wanting marriage in your life? When do you want to get married? You know, it's those type of like deep conversations that reveal a lot about your future. I feel like those conversations are coming up actually really soon for you, especially since we have this Seeker of Swords. I feel like your next chapter is about having those deep conversations and making a more solid plan in your love life to understand, are you and your partner, you know, going for the same thing? Are you on the same plan? And how do you get on the same plan? If you're single, I feel like you're sorting out what it is that you really want, and you're also creating more solid boundaries and values and getting clear on what you want in your love life, and also getting to a point where you're okay having conversations a little bit sooner. Because it's like, you know, once you get older and you go on a date, it's almost like natural to want to ask like, hey, do you want kids? Do you want to get married? You know, those are like such intense questions, but at the same time, I feel like once you get older, you don't really want to like play around anymore, you know? And you don't just want to go on a date and like have fun and then find out a few months later that that person totally is not on the same page. Like, you just don't want to waste time anymore, you know? And so I also feel like you're getting to a point in your life where you don't really want to waste time in your love life. And so I feel like you're wanting to gain more clarity on, you know, your timeline, what your love life is going to be, what values and what commitments that you desire in your love life. So this next chapter is about kind of figuring that all out. If you're in a relationship or dating someone or seeing someone, there's going to be a conversation real soon coming up to gain clarity on where you both are at and what can be expected in the future. So yeah, and then look at this, Three of Coins, which is about building, about doing something that's collaborative. So if you're in a relationship, I see you working on building the foundation and the building blocks towards what you really want. If you're single, I see that you are going to be, that you have options, and you're going to be sort of asking the questions and figuring out who's the right person for me, and exploring more of your love life and developing that so that you can kind of create what you really desire here. But I'm just seeing that your next chapter is very much about conversations, getting on the same page, finding what works, and then moving forward from there. For those of you that are already in a relationship, I would not be surprised if your relationship, you have a conversation about taking things to the next level, and locking stuff in. This key is reminding me of like locking things in and getting the key information that you need. The keys to a successful relationship are going to be coming up over the next little while. The hangman being reversed here, things are going to start moving forward, and you're not going to feel like you're left hanging. If you currently feel like you're left hanging on a certain subject and you're like, okay, like, is this happen? I don't just want to guess it. I don't just want to assume, you know? Because assuming never led anybody to the right place most of the time. So it's nice to just gain that clarity. And I'm just seeing a lot of conversations to gain clarity here. And it's also interesting that this card like has sort of swords on it, even though it's the Three of Coins, which is the Pentacles. But this also talks about like gaining clarity. It's like swords, swords, swords. Very much gaining clarity. Even the Magician gaining clarity. I'm also feeling like you're needing a little bit more from your love life. Like maybe you are requiring more conversations. Maybe you're wanting more of a deeper connection. Maybe you're wanting more emotional time to form a connection. Maybe you're wanting to make things more connected, more inspiring. Maybe you're wanting to plan something in your love life to move towards creating and cultivating the relationship that you really dream and desire of. So hopefully that's making sense. Let's dive into some more cards. It looks like there's a lot of like progress happening in your love life in this next chapter, especially in terms of like conversations, gaining more clarity, more understanding about where you both are at and what your timeline is and how you're going to mold both timelines with you and your person, or you and the person that you're interested in. Let's see what else we get here. Group 3, we also have Seeker, Expose, Seeker, and we also have Seeker of Swords. Group 3s, you are seeking something, or somebody's seeking something from you. Maybe they're seeking to get to know you better. Maybe they're seeking to see what page you're at. There could even be small little hints being thrown around. Like maybe you're throwing out small little hints like, oh, look, this person just got engaged. How do you feel about that? You know, like kind of throwing out certain hints, or somebody might be throwing out hints towards you. But either way, I'm really feeling like in your love life, there is this energy of seeking to find more understanding and to expose what the true intentions are of you versus what you desire and what somebody else wants and desires and where they're at. So I feel like it's seeking more here, seeking more understanding, more communication. And we also have Luminary, which is about lighting things up, exposing things, and bringing things to light. When we bring something to light, it's like we're having that conversation. We are opening up, and look at this sword again, leading towards the light. It's like you're getting towards the point, gaining clarity. Whenever we light something up, we gain clarity on it. So activate, brighten, impact, determine. So you're kind of determining the outcome of your love life in this next chapter by having these conversations and finally getting to a point where we're like, oh, okay, I see where it's going. I have the clarity, I have the reassurance, I have the validation of what page we're all on and how we're going to move forward from there. So that's really exciting. Some of you might literally be having conversations of marriage because the Hierophant is the card of the pastor, the priest, the church, and it can indicate marriages. It can indicate, getting that higher level of commitment, making even, a spiritual promise to one another, because the Hierophant is also a very spiritual card. So maybe we're also making a spiritual promise like, hey, I am, opening myself up. I'm coming clean. I'm letting you see all of me. I'm letting you understand me on a really deep level. And then from there, through that deep understanding, we know how to build on what we want. We know what decisions to make. We know what to expect moving forward. So there's something here where we're gaining a lot more clarity on our love life and having some really deep conversations to help us see things more clear. So let's dive into some more cards here. Let's see, group 3, what else do we get for you? I'm really feeling like these two want to come out. So let's see, religious factors, that one came up for another group too. And then calling in your soulmate, that also came up for another group. That's interesting. Okay, religious factors, Hierophant. Some of you are getting on a similar page of like asking each other, what are your values? Do you value marriage? Do you value somebody, having a religion and raising kids with a religion, or, just figuring things out about where someone's at in their faith, what they believe in, what they want for themselves. I think you're just going to be having such deeper conversations about those things, honestly, really soon. I feel like it's going to happen within this month. For some of you, this could be happening as soon as like tonight, tomorrow, the next week. But I feel like for all of you, these deeper conversations are coming up within this next month at the very least, from when you're watching this. We also have children, so getting on the same page with somebody in terms of what they want with their kids. And then we have the wedding card. We have the wedding card. Okay, my loves, group 3, you're having the deep conversations. You're having the conversations about marriage, about kids. Maybe some of you, you're already at that stage, but maybe you're talking about do we want more kids? What do we want from our partnership here on out? How do we want it to develop here on out? How do we want to raise our kids? Do we want to raise them with religion? Do we want to raise them with different belief systems? Like, where are you all at? I think you're going to be having some really deep conversations that just brings so much more clarity to your path. Wow, group 3s, we're getting deep here really soon. This next chapter is about getting deep and moving things forward, especially if you felt maybe even a little bit stagnant in your love life. Like maybe you've been waiting around for your partner to propose. Maybe you've been waiting around for your partner to be ready. Maybe you've been waiting around for something, okay? Maybe you're just wondering, like, is it gonna happen? Is it gonna move forward? So gaining clarity on that is coming really soon. We also have flirt. I feel like there's really good chemistry between you and your partner. And if you're single, I feel like you're gonna be finding someone that you have really good chemistry with. But for most of you, I'm really feeling like you already have a partner. We also have confusion. Yeah, you're wanting to gain clarity. This next chapter is about gaining clarity, especially on the questions that might roam around in your mind and you might ruminate on every so often, gaining clarity on those different things. Maybe one of you doesn't even fully know what you want. Like maybe it's like, I don't know yet. I don't know. There's a mystery here to uncover. There's certain things that you haven't gotten full answers on. Maybe certain things have been, again, looming around in your mind and you're really wanting to gain clarity, gaining reassurance on these things. Okay, let's see. What else can we get for my group 3s? We also have the fun card. This next chapter, you know what I'm feeling for you, group 3s? For most of you that are going through this, I feel like the answers that you get are going to be really reassuring, and it's going to open up this new stage in your relationship of like soaring to new heights of fun things happening, flirtation, kind of just this really fun energy where exciting things. It feels like, you know that feeling when something really exciting happens and then you feel like you're almost floating. You feel like you're flying. Your energy is so high. There's certain things happening in your love life, certain conversations that you're going to be having, certain instances, happenings that are going to make you feel like you are just soaring on cloud 9. Like, yeah, I'm seeing a lot of fun coming in for you. Yeah, I see deep commitment and this joy, like really exciting things to look forward to, really exciting things to plan. I see you planning something really fun, and it's like, oh my goodness, like I see you creating really beautiful memories in your love life in this next chapter, really beautiful memories, and things are taking off, things are moving forward. I love it. It's almost like a lot of you, I'm getting this analogy, like a lot of you have been sitting in the basket of a hot air balloon waiting for it to take off, and you're like, is it gonna take off? Like, what's it gonna do? And I feel like this conversation is going to like light things up in a way where all of a sudden you start soaring, and all of a sudden now you're flying and things are moving forward and happening. Like, that's the image that I'm getting here. So that is what we have there. And let's try to maybe get any last few cards on this reading. I feel like this one's been really quick. Okay, we have security. So a sense of security coming through. This is also reminding me of having children. So some of you, maybe children are in the really close future for you. Some of you might be pregnant right now. Some of you, like, I'm not saying all of you, I'm not trying to like scare you or anything, but, or it could be in your immediate future. And yeah, this is definitely reminding me of kids. It's like, you know, the bird has laid the eggs. Ooh, and then what do we have here? We have the support card. And then let's see what this last one is. Chemistry. Okay, honestly, group 3s, you have some really great cards for your love life. It just seems like maybe you are just needing like extra confirmation, extra like talks to fully feel that sense of security, but it just seems like you're going to be getting that, and it seems like things are going to be really beautiful, finding each other on the same page, or at least getting each other to like catch up to each other's timelines, meet each other where you're at, and move forward from there. Like, I just see really good things happening, really good things in the planning stages, and really exciting things to look forward to. Like, we have children and a wedding coming up, you know? And if we want to take those more metaphorically, wedding would be like a sense of commitment and a sense of being on the same path and being dedicated to making things work out. Children is also a sense of fun. And it's a very like lighthearted energy where we feel like we can be a child again. We feel like we can be silly. We feel like we can just like laugh and enjoy ourselves and let that sort of like weird side out, you know what I mean? Like when you're in one of those comfortable relationships and you're able to like let out your weird side, like your inner child, and kind of be playful. I'm seeing a very playful energy in your love life in the next chapter. And I also am seeing like inner child healing. So if you've had certain fears because of, you know, different things that you've experienced as a kid, like maybe you've seen unideal situations with love when you were a kid, and maybe it's, you know, caused certain fears or blocks or bad expectations before. I'm seeing you're also healing a lot of that in your next chapter, and you're able to just come back to that really loving inner child that's able to play and have fun and love from an unconditional space. Like, that's something that I'm seeing for your next chapter. And yeah, I'm definitely seeing like kids, either spending more time with kids, or specifically in this next chapter, maybe talking about your timeline of when to have kids, or having kids, literally having kids. It can be any of those like 3 things. Again, it is a general reading, so I like to point out all the different options and all the different layers of the cards, but it definitely looks like there's fun, children, commitment, inner child, playfulness, all that good stuff through having deep conversations that are going to bring clarity to that. So my group number 3s, thank you so much for joining me here today for this video. I'm really excited for you and your love life coming up. It looks like it's going to be really fun and exciting, very supportive and beautiful. So, woo! Cheers to that. And thank you so much for joining me here today. And until next time, bye, my loves. All right, so my group 4s, if you chose this pile, this is going to be your reading. So let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, group number 4, Ace of Swords, Devil, Queen of Pentacles, Justice being reversed, 10 of Wands upright, and then the 7 of Cups upright over here. Whew, there's a powerful energy in the next chapter of your love life, to say the least. I feel like you are so done with certain patterns in your love life, and you are very much ready to, find something great, to create something great, and to make sure that we are not getting tied up into old patterns anymore or repeating old patterns. Sorry, I'm just like fixing my necklace. My microphone probably picked up that sound. But you have gained so much clarity on what it is that you want and need in your love life. And I feel like right now you have a very clear idea of what you would desire to have in your love life and what you want that to look like and unfold like. So moving forward in this next chapter, the fact that we have the Devil card, this is kind of facing a maybe fear that we have. Like maybe we have a fear that, are we going to be able to manifest what it is that we really dream of? Are we going to be able to attract that or do that? Or maybe we even have a fear that certain old patterns are just going to creep back in. But at the same time, I'm seeing you having this extremely strong and powerful mindset, especially with the Queen of Pentacles here, that you are committed to something. You are committed to something in your love life where you are not wanting to repeat old patterns. You're so done with it. I feel like some of you've had some deep imbalances in your love life in the past with the Justice card being reversed. Like maybe in your past, it's been all give and no receive. When we give and we don't receive anything, or vice versa. And your energy, you no longer ever want to experience that again. You don't want to carry all the weight. I also feel like in your previous relationships, you've maybe carried a lot of the weight, maybe the emotional weight or the physical weight or the responsibilities, or you picked up after somebody constantly. And honestly, I feel like you are just like so ready to end that pattern. Like you want things to be even, you want things to be equal. And something that's like not healthy in a relationship is to like keep track and like count everything that's happening, because that's never good. At that point, you kind of feel like there's no flow anymore. You kind of almost feel like it's a job, because you have to like keep track and like check off certain things and like, and that's never good. However, though, I feel like moving forward, you are really wanting to find the type of balance in a relationship where you don't feel like you're carrying the weight. You don't feel like you're taking care of somebody. You don't feel like you need to pick up after somebody and like do all the work. I feel like you have a tendency of taking on a lot of work because you have certain like expectations or you have certain standards, but maybe like the people that you've been with or the person that you're with doesn't have the same standards, and we're trying to find the balance of that. And I feel like you're going to be exploring in this next chapter and finding new creative ways and new ways to navigate your love life in a way that's going to uphold your values, your wants, your needs, your desires in your love life. The Queen of Pentacles, she is so powerful. She sits in her power and she knows how to take care of herself fully. She also knows how to take care of others. Not necessarily that she wants to constantly do that. It would be nice to also sit there with the King of Pentacles, and like have a nice collaborative situation going on. And I feel like this next chapter of your love life is finding that, creating those boundaries so that we can have a much more even and balanced love life and much more even and balanced relationship. So that's coming up right off the bat here for the next chapter of your love life. So let's see what else we can get for you. I'm also hearing, for a lot of you, like, I'm just hearing this on the side, like you need to take a break. to rest, to recuperate your energy. I feel like you are so good at like working, doing, focusing, taking care of all the responsibilities, and it's like you don't rest until all the stuff is done. And I'm hearing that one of the best things for you is going to be to learn how to also balance your own life, because I feel like that's why this is manifesting in your relationships, is because even if you're on your own, you tend to overwork yourself and take on all the responsibilities because, for one, it looks like you like nice things. You like to have a nice environment. You like to make things nice. But in order to upkeep that, maybe we overwork ourselves. Maybe we put way too much responsibility on our shoulders, but maybe that's also why it shows up in your relationships, because you're naturally doing that anyway. So how do we bring balance to this? First, we have to learn how to bring balance to those things and to those aspects in our own personal life. And as we do that in our personal life, it tends to, like, that dynamic tends to trickle out to the other aspects of our life. So when we're not overworking ourselves, we're taking time to rest, relax, and have a break. That will also trickle down into your relationships to create more balance there as well. You know, like how, I hope that's making sense. Like, I'm not going to go on a tangent. I was about to go on like a 20-minute long tangent. Maybe it's beneficial, maybe not. I don't know. We also have the Awakener coming up. This one came up for another group too, but this is like when we really awaken to a realization. For you, I feel like you're about to have this very deep realization in this next chapter of your love life, where all of a sudden it's like, I'm no longer going to do the same things in the same way ever again, because you start to kind of realize how that dynamic's been playing out for you. And I just feel like you're really wanting more balance. You're wanting to end old patterns, and you no longer want to be chained to certain things. I feel like you don't like to be stuck on, certain things. It's almost like you've been stuck on certain responsibilities, or it almost felt like you were chained to certain circumstances that you couldn't really break free from. That could be like overworking, for example, or feeling like somebody's really dependent on you, or feeling like you are very dependent on someone else. So either way, the devil kind of reveals that there's some sort of dynamic like that going on. And for you, this is showing up in your love life. So maybe you feel like this chain, as if you're chained to certain responsibilities or all of this. But the devil's an illusion. It means that you can unhook yourself at any time. But it might just be like something in our belief system, or maybe something that we are currently needing to just like break out of, like a pattern that we need to break out of in order to find like more rest, more relaxation, more happiness, more rejuvenation here, which again, it looks like you are leading to that in this next chapter, because it's like you're having all these realizations. We also have the strategist. I feel like those of you who chose this group, you're really into philosophy. And really into strategy. Some of you might also be like extremely competitive, and maybe even like really good at chess, or really good at strategic kind of like games and whatnot. That's besides the point. But I do think that you have a very strong like mental capacity, which also leads you to like taking on a lot on your own shoulders, because you're extremely smart. Like, you know how to do it, but at the same time, I'm really just hearing this word from your spirit guides that it's so vital to also rest, rejuvenate, recuperate, and don't be so hard on yourself. And allowing for a little bit more flexibility, I think, is just going to be so beautiful for you. But anyway, counsel. Maybe you're going to have a little bit of a counsel session with yourself, maybe with your partner, to strategize on how to find more balance here in your love life, how to kind of like share responsibilities a little bit better, how to kind of like even out the playing field together. Maybe there's also a big project that you have going on in your life right now, and maybe that's about to take up a lot of your time, and maybe you're working on how can you balance your career versus your love life in this next chapter. So that's something that's going to be, you're going to be figuring that out in this next phase. We also have Sovereign, which is the Queen. She is one that reclaims her power and realizes that she's not bound to anything unless she chooses to be. So what are you currently like chaining yourself to that maybe you want to be set free from? Maybe you want to be set free from like a really demanding schedule where you're putting way too many responsibilities on your back on top of the ones that, you know, are essential. Maybe we're putting way too much stuff there, but this is also how to govern, how to preserve better, how to preserve yourself, how to govern your life to make sure that it's going smoothly. I feel like some of you, this is something that I'm hearing, is to let go of trying to control everything so meticulously. Allow some room for rest, relaxation, spontaneity, more flow. Because I feel like your life, whenever you've been more in flow, things have gone a lot easier. So something that, again, I'm hearing for you is to kind of like get back more into that flow, to gain more autonomy through not like stuffing yourself thin of like doing so much. Look, we also have the love yourself first card. So instead of bending over backwards for everyone else and for all of these responsibilities, when we love ourselves first and we're able to fill up our own cup, then we can give from a full cup, and then things get done easier, they get done faster, we have more energy behind them. So I know that this is supposed to be a love reading about your next chapter of your love life, and this is very much like a personal journey for you, group fours. Like, this is about you discovering what it is that your body is really calling for, your soul, which is rest and rejuvenation, and loving yourself and making time for that. Yeah, I really feel like this is about you taking care of yourself first and foremost. I feel like you have a tendency to help others before helping yourself, which is no bueno, because we're not able to help other people if we're unable to like put ourselves first, you know, and then all the help that we do is kind of like not as high caliber as if we fulfilled ourselves first and then approach things from a fully fulfilled place, right? I'm also seeing like a nostalgia for the past. Like maybe some of you, maybe you've been in a long-term relationship for quite a bit, and maybe you've gotten to this place of really focusing mostly on like what needs to be done and let's focus on the responsibilities, and maybe you've lost a little bit of that like spontaneity and a little bit of that like passion and fun, because maybe it's just like a huge focus on work now. And there's this nostalgia for like maybe when you first started dating this person, maybe there's this nostalgia for that. And I think in this next chapter of your love life, it's coming back to what the core of love is. It's coming back to passion. Oh, I see you just unlocking passion in this next chapter, coming back to that and feeling so good, like reigniting the love that you have. Letting go of like this control and this need for everything to be perfect and this need for all responsibilities to be taken care of before we're allowed to like have fun and enjoy ourselves. I feel like it's just like, let's let go for a second, you know? Like, let's take the stick out of the butt. Sorry, that's such a... But you know what I mean? Like the 10 of Wands is like the stick in the butt type of mentality. It's like when we're so rigid and we're like, no, I need to do this, and we have no flexibility. Your next chapter is about bringing back the flexibility. Have fun. Your life is meant to be full of love. It's meant to be full of fun. It's meant to be an experience, right? There's an amazing quote that I read recently in this book called Time Magic. Oh, so good. This quote said, imagine yourself when you're 79 years old or 89 or whatever, super old age. Imagine yourself at a really old age. Would you pay money to have more fun in this moment of your life right now? If you, let's say you're 79 years old and you're reflecting back on this time of your life. Are you wanting to give yourself the advice as this older version of you? Are you wanting to give your current self the advice of work harder, make sure the house is clean, make sure all the chores are done, make sure you're working harder, get more done? Or are you giving yourself the advice of, holy shit, enjoy these years. Enjoy these years while you have health, you can travel, you can have fun, you can, have the passion in your love life, Like, what advice would you be giving yourself? And I'm sure it's probably the one of like, take the stick out of the butt and just like be flexible and enjoy yourself, and don't try to over control your life. Let yourself have fun. Get back the freedom. The sovereign is freedom, right? Like, you're very strategy oriented, and I feel like you know how to get a lot done, and you're probably very successful in your career because of this. So group 4, like I feel like you got the career stuff down pat, but let's like fill the cup, Let's fulfill you. So that's what's coming up here. Let's dive into some more cards. So my group 4s, what else do we have for you all about this next chapter? This next chapter is about you coming back to the fun, the romance, the excitement, the mystery, like letting life be a little bit more mysterious, not needing to control every single outcome here, there, and everywhere. It's like, let's allow more fun. Let's allow more fun. And look, we also have the memories card coming out. So what memories do you want to create? So just like the question that I just asked you, I feel like Spirit's coming through again. What memories do you want to create? Do you want to create the memories that you worked really hard through your whole life? Like, yes, that's an accomplishing feeling. And we shouldn't let our career go to waste by any means, especially if we worked really hard for it, or our lifestyle or whatever, the nice things that we have. Those are nice, but at the same time, what memories do you want to create right now? Do you want to create the memories of like this steamy passion? Do you want to create the memories of like, let's go away together for a weekend and just forget everything? Or let's maybe spend just a little bit of extra money to go and create an unforgettable experience together and all of that, instead of being so strategic and so responsible all the time and like, that type of energy. I feel like this next chapter is about creating beautiful memories, coming back to the mystery, the spontaneity, loving yourself, putting yourself in a position where you're able to rest, rejuvenate, recuperate, and also be able to do that with your partner as well. Okay, let's dive into some more cards. We also have healing coming out. Love that came up for you. And we also have fear. Healing the fear. This is powerful. So part of you might fear, like, there might be certain fears holding you back from like being able to just rest and recuperate. Like maybe you just maybe feel this fire under your butt to like get things done and get things going. But the most beautiful thing is, again, the memories that you create throughout your life. It's not what you like do necessarily like career-wise. Career-wise is, again, so fulfilling in so many ways. I'm not saying to discount that, but like the love and relationships that we share and create are always more fulfilling than our career, always. And so we do need to have a balance, right? A balance of both. Being able to heal different things. I'm also hearing like forgiveness and letting certain things go, especially if we've gotten a little bit harsh with our partner with certain things. Like maybe we've been feeling really annoyed by them not on the same page as our responsibilities. Like maybe we're always like, we need to have super clean house, we need this, we need that. And maybe our partner's kind of like not there, not on the same page. And maybe we have like certain resistances because of that. If we heal, we let it go a little bit. We come back to this, we come back to the pure like beauty of the relationship, the pure love that's there. Like, This next chapter is about coming back to that. And I'm also hearing the word forgiveness. Forgiveness and allowing passion to just come back in such a beautiful way. Coming back out of this hiding, being able to be open, be vulnerable, heal those certain things, forgive them, come back to creating the most beautiful memories in your love life. Like, that's what I'm seeing group 4. That's what I'm seeing for you. I feel like most of you who chose this group, you've been in a long-term relationship, and this next chapter is about healing. This next chapter is about coming back to the passion, to the ease, to the flow, to the enjoyment, to the fun of life. Oh, beautiful. So that is what we have here. My group number 4 is, it looks like your next chapter is going to be beautiful. It's something that you really, really, really need. And it's going to be beautiful for you to go through this realization and rebalancing, and it's going to bring a lot of great memories your way. So thank you so much for joining me here today. Group number 4, I'm sending you so much love, and until next time, bye.